Yeah, and Dr. Ellis was one of the pioneers of pediatric ophthalmology that we all looked up to.
He was calm and he was reasoned and he kept a perfectly even keel.
He would put all those pieces together and come up with a diagnosis that almost literally nobody else would put there.
I was born in southern Indiana in 1932 in a small village, Deputy, Indiana. I did get into medical school and found out that, much to my surprise, I could compete there. I was assigned to the 379th Bomb Squadron, which was a part of the Strategic Air Command at that time, and as a flight surgeon. I think my first interest in ophthalmology came from the flight surgeon training at Randolph. My initial concern was that it would be boring, that after dealing with all the things I'd been dealing with, who could spend all day thinking about an eyeball. Along the way, I grew interested in pediatric ophthalmology. I did join the ophthalmology faculty at Indiana University as a cohort of Dr. Elvison's, and we had a long and successful career together.
Darryl was in that first generation of pediatric ophthalmologists that didn't have a book to go by.
We worked at the only children's hospital at the time in Indiana. It's James Whitcomb Riley Hospital for Children. If you worked there long enough, you would see one of everything. You might not recognize it, although you should, but it would be a sin not to recognize the second one that you saw of the same rare problem.
Darryl's teaching was always measured, accurate, and superbly prepared. He didn't shoot from the hip. He didn't go for anything fancy or in anything unnecessarily elaborate. He was just a great, solid guy.
Some early fellows spent 3 months with us, 3 months with Jampolsky, 3 months with Parks.
It was a rare breed. He could do anything. Oculoplastics procedures, he could do DCRs, all the strabismus, cataracts, glaucoma, you name it, orbital work. Dr. Ellis was really sort of a renaissance guy in pediatric ophthalmology because he did everything.
I think we did some innovative things in terms of restoration of vision in children. We did some early ptosis, blepharoptosis repair, innovative things. We contributed to the understanding of some of the function of the extraocular muscles. We participated in the early retinopathy of prematurity studies, some of the early Botox studies.
And he was so good at everything, and we sort of could work together and complemented each other. We could both do sort of different things, but we kind of put them together.
These things all evolved and they became defined and therefore uniform, more or less, and eventually the Association for Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus was formed.
So we put together a small book called Pediatric Ophthalmology Practice.
Every pediatric ophthalmologist has a bag of tricks that he uses to get on the good side of a child, and you need that. I've offered children enormous sums of money for their favorite blanket. Just think of the enormous trust that parent has in you as you take their child into the operating room and bring them back healthy and happy for what they had done.
I was thinking, what do people remember Darryl by? And that was his uncanny ability to see anatomical abnormalities in a child and put together this sequence of things and come up with a diagnosis that literally nobody else could do.
Yeah, I think Dr. Ellis will be remembered by all of his trainees and associates as being sort of the ultimate authority on almost everything pediatric ophthalmology related.
He existed in total competence, was ultimately self-effacing, He was loyal, and he was hardworking, and he was one of the smartest, most compassionate doctors I've ever met.
I've never regretted becoming a pediatric ophthalmologist. I went to work every day with enthusiasm, and I can't imagine having done anything else.
The Children's Eye Foundation proudly salutes Forrest Darrell Ellis as a distinguished member of the Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus Hall of Fame.